What's up, you guys? My name is Angela. I'm one of the co-founders and COO of Active Solutions. And today I'm actually going to be going over the systems and processes that I've put into place for client management. So this would be for any new client that signs up with us, because you want to ensure that the onboarding process as well as the fulfillment process is seamless. You want to give the best experience to your clients. And you want to win them again, probably within the first 60 to 90 days that they sign up with you. So, to ensure that there are no holes in our bucket, this is kind of the systems that we've put into place utilizing Go HighLevel and Asana as our client management project tool. Our closer signs somebody up, for example, for this week. Let's take a look at this week's signups. Our closers will move them to a different pipeline and move them to services sold with whatever value that they were signed up on. Now, once that happens, it'll actually automatically be zapped into this onboarding progression board, which I've created and will explain and we'll make this as painless as possible for you. But they will kind of come into here, and I've created a template. And basically, what the Zap does is it duplicates this exact template card, is what it's called in Asana. And I've used this test client, for example. So I would put the sign up value, the lead source in which they came from, because it is very important, especially for using paid acquisition, which closer, as well as what service, and the MRR, so their monthly recurring revenue, and the setter. Total clients, I always just put one because we do count up how many clients we have. And then basically the sign up month and then month cancels. And so these are all fields that I'll manually put in. But whenever they are onboarded, they are sent automatic onboarding forms. And once they actually submit the form, and again, this is actually a Go HighLevel form, that will also be auto populated into the client's card here. So all of this will populate, and so that our team can actually be pre-prepared to onboard them by understanding exactly what the build out should be looking like. We do ask for extensive business information, and this is just so that we can submit A2P verification and actually create the sub account here for that client before we even get to the onboarding, because on the onboarding itself is when we'll open up their account and walk them through the snapshot in which we create. Every single client that we sign up is very much tailored. So if you have a specific niche, then maybe it would be a good idea for you to set up a snapshot that's very specific to that niche so that it's a copy and paste play. And that can go into, different pipelines, different types of automations. But in our case, it is very much tailored. So as soon as the onboarding is scheduled, we will actually drag them here. And what will happen is when we do this, we'll actually create and convert it to a project. So what this does is we do have templates for specific projects, and I always choose the Active Solutions team. And we have different templates that we utilize. So internal would mean that if we are providing them the Go HighLevel account, external being that they have their own Go HighLevel account. So there's a certain number of things that we wouldn't need, like their business information, EIN, LLC, everything of that nature, and etc. So once it's converted into a project, we actually have a specific board for client projects. And then we typically name it with the client's first name. And then if it's internal or external, as well as the name of the sub account or the external account. What happens here is we will always make sure to assign an account manager to it, in which this case is Walter and Chris, our two account managers, and they will be notified almost immediately that they are assigned a project. And what happens is as soon as you double click here, this is a little bit customized, as I was saying before, but usually our template is the onboarding notes and the goal for the setup. So when you're on the onboarding, you want to take down as much information as possible. And we also create a flow chart of exactly what's happening within the account. So for example, everything starts top of funnel. So what is the actual offer? What are the lead sources? And then is basically our build out. So what calendars are they utilizing? How many team members need to be added to the account? Maybe there's different types of automations that need to happen within the account after that. What's the name of the calendars that they're utilizing? And then essentially the flow chart will show all the automations up until the end point, which typically is a call to action of booking a call. So once you figure out that information, then my account managers are responsible for understanding all of these tasks and marking these tasks, because within these tasks are actually subtasks. So I know saying task a million times, but the biggest reason for this is because we want to get all of the information as possible so that we can be better prepared and actually decrease the turnaround time to get these accounts set up. So how many calendars are needed? Who needs to be notified? So within these subtasks, my account manager here, I guess there's a 15-minute startup intro call calendar and a 60-minute loan proposal call calendar. So if I go into this account for BizBrit Finance, I know that all of these things are set up, as well as all the team members that need to be added to the account, which is incredible. So this is also for just if the account manager wants to set up their own tasks, because this is also a CRM transfer as well as our services. So it looks like Walter did an extensive job with all of the note taking, but this is a way for your account managers to stay on top of everything. Now, in our case, we also do bot prompting, and we provide a conversational AI. So our bot prompt engineer, Xandro, in this case, he submitted for a regulatory bundle. Looks like this is a international client, verifying the custom values, and that's again because we upload our snapshots. He will mark this off once he's completed the bot prompting. We took down the client's phone number to enroll them to test the bot. The testing phase is complete. And so there's a good number of different tasks that we need to make sure of. And this is, again, to make sure that there are no holes in the process. Now, if you go back to the client board, you'll see the task progression. And this is a way for you as a business owner to understand what your team is doing and how much output that they're putting. Now I can understand, okay, great. So it looks like this client in particular is almost at 100%. And so this is a way for me to also mark whether it's a high or low priority, depending on the due date and when they were onboarded. So today being the 27th, it looks like this would obviously be the higher priority, or actually September, because this one was onboarded obviously sooner than these two guys were. So this is a way for us to really understand and kind of stay on top of the account managers to be like, hey, the task progression has been stagnant for some while. Can you give me an update? And you can always start your morning meetings that way. Now, let's say that these get to 100%. Let's go back to the onboarding progression board. So obviously, once the project is started, it would be moved here. Once the project is completed, you see this little electric whatever symbol here. What this does is once I move it under this section, it's actually going to send a Slack channel message. We utilize Slack as a communication channel for our clients as well as our team. So then this tells the assigned account manager, please audit and test the account to prepare for launch and schedule the pre-launch call. So what that means is we will actually go in and test every single calendar, make sure that it's accurate. All the automations are firing correctly. We're testing the bot, making sure that everything in the system is firing correctly. That way, when we onboard the client, there's not going to be any broken pieces in the process. And then scheduling the pre-launch call. This is actually a way for us to touch base with the client, give them a high-level overview of everything that's been set up prior to just kind of like letting them utilize the system, right? So once that happens, pending is just if, like, for example, if ATP verification takes a little bit longer than usual, or if the client goes on vacation, whatever the case is, we'll put them in pending, but ready to launch. Again, there's another rule for this section of the board here. And what that does is it creates 3 subtasks. That's a way for you to set the subscription with your billing department if you are on a subscription basis, the name on the card that we have in file, and that the testing was completed by the account manager. And this is so that, again, there's another layer of protection and confirmation from your account manager that, yes, everything in the account is firing correctly. And I have tested that. Then it sets basically a direct message to me personally to set up the subscription with our billing department. So extra layers of protection to make sure there are no holes or gaps in the process. Now, once they've been launched, the rule for this action would then be added to multiple different boards, launched clients. We have many other project boards to keep track of every client since we have a current active client list. And that basically will track our actual acquisition that was collected by this client, as well as the monthly recurring revenue. We have a total amount that shows onto this board the month that they signed up, so we can actually manage and see the churn rate at which, at the end of every month. And then what happens is there's a wait step as well, so that there's a 3-day check in. Now, once they get into this 3-day check in, then the automation starts so that we can remember to actually check in on the client 3 days after launch, 7-day launch. And then we have SOPs and protocols to ensure that we are checking in on the client for at least 2 months straight. You want to win the client over within, I would say 60 to 90 days. You really want to resell them every single time you have an encounter with them. We've seen that clients stay with us much longer because they are informed. So they don't know what they don't know. And your team may be doing all of this work in the back end, but our clients have no idea what happens in our day to day. So our account managers are extremely, extremely efficient and informative about what is happening within the account so that our clients understand what's going on and that they're not just paying us monthly just to kind of sit around and twiddle our fingers. We do actively check all of the accounts pretty frequently. And as we have a 7-day and 3-day protocol, we also have a 14-day, 28-day, 1 month later protocol as well. And typically, you want to make sure to keep communication with your clients frequently to ensure that they are up to speed on what's happening. And a lot of times, especially with Go High Level, there's lots of specific types of automations that can occur. We do offer a very high level service because we have Go High Level specialists on our team. So sometimes we'll actually help our clients set up Stripe because that's a way to take payments. And we do always try to tell clients to work out of one major CRM because we actually do as well. When you have multiple different project management tools and multiple different CRMs, it's very difficult to keep track of everything. So we've narrowed it down to 2 major systems, which is Asana, which is amazing for fulfillment, client management, and then Go High Level specifically for our sales. So everything is tracked only in these 2 systems, which has really simplified our process and also decreased our overhead and keeps our margins rather large doing so. So a lot of times, just try to encourage clients to do everything on here because High Level obviously is extremely sophisticated. So there's a number of things that you can do and build out within to here. And a lot of times you can tell clients, well, if you're not married to your CRM, I can show you a couple of things that we can do within one CRM just so that everything can be working out of one place. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And please comment below any other information that you guys want to know and maybe specifics about how we actually optimize Asana to utilize it for the rest of our team members. And thank you so much for watching.